is a drug, and I go a lot of places where people drink it. And it's like when they become alleviated, I'm just like, can you back up off me? Can you stay away from me? I am Ronald. I'm Dion. I'm Chica.
And I'm Aaron. Standing in for Frank. We love you, Frank. But maybe that's just like the people who you said in your neighborhood who go out on the back porch to smoke a little, and it comes into your room and you're like, ew, why?
I feel that's how I am. You should see my face. I'm like, oh God, let me go close the window now. You know, let me go to another room and open up the other side of my house. Maybe I'll get a better smell from that side. So, I mean, I don't like it. I can't tell people what to do in their backyard and all that. But I know that with me, I'm a very respectful person, and I respect others. So if I was to do that, I wouldn't do it around other people. Now it's a cultural thing where we all are doing that same thing, and we all decide this is what we're going to do. So it's like for me, I would go somewhere else. I wouldn't do it right in front of everybody else. It's just like when the situation came when back in the day where people were upset when some places were banning people to come in to smoke cigarettes, and it was a smoke-free environment. You know, for people who don't smoke and don't like it, I think you should respect that. We don't mind you smoking, doing what you gotta do, but if it's an area where we all are in a local general area, I think it should be respectful enough that you can do it away from us so that we don't have to do something that we're not wanting to participate in.
So find a place to be by themselves, totally.
Well, I'm a part of that cultural change. And I smoke cigarettes, but I was part of the clean air change. And it wasn't until the culture started to stick, and I went some places where people were still smoking inside, that I realized there's no such thing as a smoking, non-smoking section. Mm-hmm. The smoke actually filters.
Yeah, it's true.
I sit with you, and then I kind of understand as well as I feel like alcohol is a drug, and I go a lot of places where people drink it, and it's like when they become alleviated, I'm just like, can you back up off me? Can you stay away from me? Yeah.
Go. I was just gonna say that's a good comparison because I know I personally have a big problem when I'm around somebody whose personality has changed due to alcohol, that I cannot. But that's a personal problem. Maybe I'll go into my reasoning in another show down the road. But yeah, that's a big problem for me. If you anyway. Chica?
Yeah. For me, I have no problem with anybody smoking. In as much that you don't come close to me to smoke. Even if we have any chat or we have to meet up on anything, we sit closer, maybe in the same table, and you light up your smoke. You can smoke, but not in front of me because I don't like the odor of smoke. It disturbs me. So you can't come inside my house and smoke. Instead, I prefer you to be in an open air side. Like go outside, you can walk around, smoke as much as you want. I can't tell you what to do. I can't stop you from it. That's all. But where I can say it's okay, it's when, if that smoke, just like John said, it's your habit, you have found good smoke, that you want to smoke, you didn't have any bill to pay for it, you want me to assist you to get that up to your habit, then I will say no. So I don't stop anyone of smoking. It's just as I don't stop anyone of doing anything that they want to do. But my own is that you can't smoke around me because the odor disturbs me.
And that's a good point because smoking, yes, you are an adult, so you can do what you want to do. But when it comes to smoke, it's like Ronald mentioned, secondhand smoke. It's a multi-party party, and that
Yeah.
everybody gets involved when you smoke. Now, I don't know the effects of secondhand smoke when it comes to marijuana. Does anybody know that? Because I go ahead.
So it's the same effect as someone who smokes cigarettes or
Is it?
any type of tobacco product. It's the same effect.
Huh.
So just like Dion was speaking, but let's just say they was in close proximity, and that enclosed smoke winds up getting into Dion's clothes, and Dion doesn't change his clothes, or any of us doesn't change our clothes. Now we're carrying that smoke that's now unvaporized. You can't see it, but for some reason you may still be able to smell it. Marijuana. You're carrying that on, and now you're carrying that on to others. So that's where the third hand smoke comes, where it's done gotten into your pores, it's done gotten into your clothes, and now you're carrying it on somewhere else. So yes, it has the same effect as cigarette smokers or anybody who smokes tobacco products.
The same health effects too. And what about the vape pen?
Okay. So one of the major things that have been showing up now in hospitals is a lot of people are coming down with COPD.
I've heard that. Those letters, I don't know what I don't remember what they stand for.
I can tell you the D is disorder, the C is chronic. I don't want to go with the O and P and try and say what it is, but I do know it's a breathing disorder,
Huh.
and it causes people to like choke or have episodes where they can't breathe, or they're finding it very hard where their windpipes or their lungs become very congested, and they have a very hard time with breathing. But yes, that has been linked to marijuana smoking. They also have this new illness for people who smoke marijuana chronic. Colorado has had episodes where they arrive at the hospital, they're bleeding internally, and the only cure they have found for it so far is they have to stop smoking.
Really?
So yes, some health effects are starting to show up, but also marijuana ain't what it used to be back in the day. I don't know, when mom and them smoked it, it was a very simple ingestion of what came from the ground. Now everybody wants to be a chemist, so they're adding chemicals to it, and the chemicals, I believe, is becoming the hardest part to it.
Really? But I guess that depends on like where you get it from and stuff like that, because just like they have organic food, I'm sure you could get organic marijuana.
That's a whole discussion, and I think it'll come somewhere down the line as well.
And to throw into that conversation, you can think about the edibles as well. You know, where that if you want that, you can have edibles as opposed to smoking, and I think that's a different ball game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
You gotta
you
be
don't
real
have the
cautious.
smoke.
Right.
Yeah, and you have to be real cautious today, because THC is sort of like what Dion said. THC is THC, no matter how it gets into the body, and it can have its pluses and it can have its minuses to it. One last thing to what you said a little bit earlier. At this moment, Maryland will not legalize marijuana for recreation use, just on the simple fact we've had several people show up who have fentanyl inside them, and the only thing they said was, I smoke weed. So because Maryland's government can't yet control the street level marijuana, they wouldn't legalize it.
Oh, wow. I did not know that, because I know I was listening to Bill Maher, and Bill Maher was like, yeah, Maryland is one of the few states so far that is on its way to legalizing marijuana, but it's just taking a really long time. In Maryland is particularly slow, but you're saying Maryland is not going to do it at all.
as long as the government feels like they can't fully control it, like that's one reason we have medical use now, because they feel like they can control that. But as long as the state feel like they can't control the substance on the street, I don't see us moving to it. It may show up on a ballot, but it'll just be a House discussion that'll go to Congress.
Oh, wow. See, so if I date a dude who smokes, we could still get pulled over and taken to jail?
Well, as long as you're in Baltimore City, Marilyn Mosley has made it possible that, hey, they're not going to arrest you. They might give you a citation.
Oh. Really? So Baltimore City is cool? Okay, that's good to know. Thank you, Baltimore. Okay, see, another reason I love Baltimore.